Hi and welcome. I'm here today as the design team member for the Crafters Castle Challenge blog. The Crafters Castle Challenge is open to everyone, and that includes international folks. It's open for all crafts and all skill levels. There's a prize every month sponsored by TaylorMadeCards4You. It has been my pleasure to use this field notes kit created by TaylorMadeCards4You. This kit is so packed full of fantastic digital papers, ephemera, images, beautiful. It's been so much fun creating with it. I'm going to start by showing you the different pages, and this is a quick flip through, and you'll see the attention to detail that Monica uses when she creates these images. There's images here that you could use to create a journal. I made several cards this month, and my cards are EaselCards, and also there's a gatefold card. So combination of open book easel cards and a gatefold card, because I couldn't resist. And you'll see later on how I designed that. I'm just, like I said, wanted you to take a look at how beautiful these images are. You can change the size to fit your needs for the project that you're working on. That's what's great about digital images. You have the ability then to manipulate them on your computer, and the sky's the limit. This field notes kit features some really cool butterflies and insects and some nice papers as well. This one reminds me of sort of like somebody spilled their tea on it. Here's a real nice close-up of some of the bugs and a spider and some butterflies. And here are specimen slides. How cute. You could use those. You've got index cards for your field notes. These envelopes are awesome. And labels say fragile, handle with care, and all shapes and sizes too. Real quick here, you'll see how many things I pre-cut as I was getting into my projects. So I'm going to show you real quick 3 of the cards that I made. That's the gatefold card. This is an easel card, which is an open book easel card, and this is also an open book easel card. See how it is from the side view? You'll see that when you close it, it's a regular A2 size card. When you open it, it sets like a card, and I thought that was really apropos to the field notes kit, because I thought if I was out in the field taking specimens and bringing back items, I would want to have my journal there with me open. And that's where I got that idea. This is the gatefold card that I made. I couldn't resist. I love those envelopes. And I put 3 of them in that. And it reminds me of a little portfolio, just the way that it folds. But it's using all of the cutouts that I created for my open book easel cards, and it just worked out perfectly. Again, this is just a A2 card landscape, and I'm just lining it up here, making sure it's nice and creased. This is a heavy duty cardstock that I'm using right here, and I'm folding over that front flap in half just one time. That's the only fold that you need for this card. And I'm going to bring in the pieces that I'm using for this project. And I will have measurements in my blog. My blog will be listed below in the description box below. You can check it out to get the measurements, but not hard to create and just a real wow factor. I liked it. I hope that you like it too. I have vintage photo ink, just regular distress ink. I'm going to be using it on all of my card pieces, and this is the panel. There's 2 different panels, and I basically use vintage photo on all of my papers basically to make this. So while this is filming, I want to talk to you again about the Crafters Castle Challenge blog. Again, there will be a link below in the description box, and I want to remind you that it's open to everyone, and that includes international participants. And it's open for all crafts and all skill levels. I'm using Beacon 3-in-1 glue, and I use this mainly throughout this entire card making process. What I like about the Beacon 3-in-1 is that it does not warp your paper. No matter how thin your paper is, it is not going to warp it. It also works great on thick paper. These panels that I am adhering to this card base are card stock, and the Beacon 3-in-1 gives you a little bit of time to zhuzh it so that you can line things up perfectly, but it adheres quickly and the bond is great. And I want to say thank you, Janie, who is the Crafters Castle Challenge design team coordinator. She's the one who I learned about Beacon 3-in-1 glue from, and I use it a lot now. I need to get some more of it because my bottle's getting low. So thank you, Janie, not only for telling me about this glue, but for all that you do for the Crafters Castle. You're just phenomenal. And thanks to Monica from TaylorMadeCards4You. TaylorMadeCards4You is the sponsor every month of the prize. So by entering in the Crafters Castle Challenge, you may win a prize. And the prize is sponsored by TaylorMadeCards4You. And this month, it's the Field Notes kit, which is awesome. And each month it changes. And you need to check out the Crafters Castle Challenge blog to see what the prize is for each month. And also check out the Crafters Castle Challenge blog. You'll find a discount code there for 20% off your digital order from TaylorMadeCards4You. That is for digital products. I'm using foam tape on this. I call it a bumper. Basically, it's a strip that you put down on the one panel so that when you open up your open face easel card, it has a place to land so that it stays open. And I'm using the vintage photo even on that craft tape, on that foam tape, because when you look at it from the side, it blends better if it's not stark white foam tape. And you could do this with alcohol marker, any other kind of marker, Sharpie, any kind of marker. But I like to use the vintage photo, and it works out very well. Also wanted to remind you, by the way, how cute is that label? It's special handling. Also, and this is where I start putting together the different pages of my easel, but not before using vintage photo. I also want to remind you real quick, there are links below to the other design team members to check out their videos where you'll find some great inspiration. I took a peek already at the design team members and the projects that they're making for this month. They are phenomenal, so creative, such inspiration. You definitely want to check it out. And we're just glad that you're here, and we're glad that you're learning about the Crafters Castle. It's an awesome blog, and there's a Facebook page for people to post things as well. I'll have all that linked below in my description box. So this is basically using 4 layers, and the large book pages, I use cardstock and then pattern paper, and then the small book has cardstock and then pattern paper. So it is thicker. You'll see here I'm using a bone folder followed with a piece of thin, just regular paper. I'm using this glue to roll the cardstock so that I can get a nice rounded page edge. I think this works very well for this technique to be able to give it some dimension. These open book easel cards are all about dimension and, you know, how a book looks. And I'm going over with a smaller, this is like a marker, like a paint marker, and I'm rolling this thinner paper, which is just regular paper, but it's patterned paper from the kit. And I'm just going to go ahead and tape halfway, only halfway, on your largest piece of cardstock or your largest page. Only go halfway, because that's going to adhere to the flap. And if you put the tape all the way from one end to the other, you won't be able to close it, and you won't be able to put it in an envelope. Ask me how I know, because I've made this card more than one time now. Before I filmed, I probably made 4 or 5 different versions of it, and I wanted to really practice it so that you could follow along with me, and it's not hard to do. But I did put the tape on once or twice the whole way from one end of the page to the other. And on that first page, you don't want to do that. You could do that on your second page, your third page, and your fourth page. So this is cardstock, and this is going to make up our smaller pages of the book. See how there's a gradual layering from large to small. You can use a bone folder to roll your paper. This is for the regular paper, not the cardstock. Or you can use a marker, a thick marker, and just crease it with your fingers until it makes a nice roll. Tape it along the spine. You don't have to do any kind of special tape. I use this score tape. You could use tape runner. You could use liquid tape. Liquid adhesive. Whatever works for you is fine. Okay, so I'm just kind of playing with the pages there, just, making sure that they're having dimension. You can do this next part with the glue dots. You don't have to. Doing it for the, whoops, my page was a little crooked there. So I'm going in with a thicker piece of double-sided tape, and I'm going to take it halfway and get that back to where it needs to be. Anyways, what I was saying is I'm going to take glue dots and prop up just the first page, give it a look of a book that has those first pages lying open. Now, glue dots and we don't play well together. I am not a fan of glue dots, but they work really good for this technique. So, of course, you could use adhesive glue, you could use tape, but it looks really cool with the glue dots. And one advantage of the glue dots is you can reposition, which you will see I do more than once to get this page looking right. And I'm sure that you're going to think, oh my gosh, how many times is she going to reposition those glue dots? But there you go. Maybe 3 or 4 times. Oh, there I go again. Sorry. But it does look nice in the end. Not too wrinkled. Just enough of a roll there. I take my pokey tool just to pop out a little bit that I may have bent. And that's what it looks like from the top. And there it is close up. And I have to put some decorations on it, which are from the kit. And I'm not going to do that here live on this video, but I am showing you some of the things that I just fussy cut out. Oh, look at that little stamp, little date stamp. Adorable. Oh my gosh. There are so many cute things in this Field Notes kit. I am in love with it. I will be using it in the future to make more adorable cards. I love this gatefold card. It just came together because I had some panels remaining and I wanted to make use of them. Here we have our Field Notes, you know, the journal cover, and you'll see that one of my design team mates made a really awesome journal. And I'm just going to lay these out here so you can get a closing look at them. And then I'm going to have some still photos of the cards and what they look like, decorated and ready to go to be mailed out to those people that love butterflies, or people who enjoy sort of the vintage look, or people who collect bugs. You know, people do that, and they need to have their field notes, and that's what this kit is all about. Thank you so much for watching today. If you're new to my channel, smash that subscribe button and ring that bell. Please give me a thumbs up and leave a comment about what you think about these awesome open book easel cards. Thanks again for watching and have a hopeful day. Bye-bye.